any potential toothpaste commercial, I think, is out the window right now for our boy Alphonso Davies. But we're having a laugh at this because he didn't lose any teeth. So modeling career, still a potential as well. But also it sounds like he's A-okay and will be good for that match March 23rd. But here's the thing. He finally makes the comeback to the Bayern lineup after missing over a month of a knee injury, and then takes a boot to the face like 14 minutes into this match. Needed some dental work. That's what they said. And you could see his teeth getting pushed back, but he didn't lose any. He clearly just needs some Invisalign. There you go. I'm going to get him a new sponsor, Invisalign. Boy Alphonso is a poster boy right now for this. But obviously, Wheels breathing a sigh of relief that it sounds like it's just the teeth and it's not anything else.
Yeah, you're right. New sponsors can come on board for the poster boy. They've done amazing. There's been amazing advancements in dental care over the course of the years. So yeah, he'll have no problem whatsoever. That was a big thing because in that moment, if anyone wasn't watching and saw the headline initially, they're like, whoa, isn't Canada playing in 2 weeks' time? Yeah. And that left side, however Morobiello wants to use it, would look a lot different without Alphonso Davies. Richie Laryea has missed the last couple weeks. Sam Adekubi hasn't played yet. All of a sudden, you're saying who can go out and play that position? This is a big couple months upcoming for Alphonso Davies on and off the field. Of course, the Canada-Trinidad Tobago game to try to fight to play in the Copa America and play Lionel Messi and the world champions in Argentina in that first match, to try to take Bayern Munich to potentially go on some run in the Champions League, a potential big money move off the field to the biggest commercial club in the world in Real Madrid. Like, there's a lot going on in his life on and off the field. The one thing that he needs and hasn't always had is good health or good luck, or maybe a combination of both, in order to manifest and really make the most of these next few months. So all eyes are on Davies. That's why moments like that garner such big headlines, because this is a really significant time, potentially a turning point time in his career.
Getting kicked in the face, Andy Petrillo, is never fun. No. But the first question I always asked was, how are my teeth? You see, homeboy, I'm glad that they're still there for Alphonso. Honestly, I'm like, I've cracked the nose, I've split the lip. First question is about the teeth, because you don't want to be pulling up and you smile, you see someone cute you like, and bam, you don't want that. That's not what you want.
You don't want to be whistling through your teeth.
Drinking water and it's just leaking through. You don't want it. Okay, so I'm grateful for the homie that he still has him. Just have to fix it a little bit. Also, for me, he's such a distraction when he plays for Canada, right? Good game, bad game, mediocre game, whatever it is, you're always aware of Alphonso Davies just because of his star quality, what he could do, even on an off day, right? He can still shift up a player, set up a goal, whatever it might be. That's the quality he brings. I want to wrap him in bubble wrap a month before Canada goes to play. That's what I want. Bubble soccer. I want to wrap him, because every time you see like you said, Wheels, granted, it's just his teeth, but every time something like this happens, I'm like, no, not him. I'm like, keep me, Lord. Take my left arm, not Alphonso Davies. Let's protect him, and I just hope that he's ready for the 23rd.
This is the conundrum for Canadians, because you love that he plays like a Canadian boy. He is not afraid of a challenge. He just gets in there. But then you're right. You're like, every single time. But he's all good. He's all good for that March 23rd game. Major League Soccer, because the three Canadian teams are off to a great start, gentlemen. And let's begin with the team that perhaps is surprising a lot of people, even their own fan base. And that, of course, would be Toronto FC, who already has 2 wins on the season, guys. They're halfway to what they were able to accomplish in all of last year. And it's Lorenzo Insigne in the 2 wins where back-to-back 1-0 victories. He was the one who scored each time. Are we getting the Insigne Wheels that we thought TFC was going to get last year? Is this who we're seeing right now? Is the guy we were hoping to see?
I think so. It's hard to make the argument that isn't the case, because Toronto FC haven't created a whole lot of chances, just 1.7 XG in 3 games. So in terms of expected goals, it's not a great number, but he is a star player. And what star players in this league, and quite frankly, around world football, need to do is own the moment, win the moment. And that's what he's done. 2 chances, 2 goals for Lorenzo Insigne. And on the weekend, quite frankly, an unstoppable strike. I mean, Charlotte defensively need to know that you can't have the ball on that man's right foot and let him cut inside. Scott Arfield was a little bit of a statue there as Insigne put it top bins. It's an incredible strike, an incredible moment. And what about this celebration? Jumping into the arms of John Herdman. In the build-up to this game on Friday, Insigne said he's been speaking with John Herdman more than he's been talking to his wife, through text, through phone call, at the training grounds. It seems like Herdman has pressed those proper psychological buttons for Insigne to get the player inspired. He's working hard defensively. He's putting forward the effort. We'll see how long. The biggest question is, how long can he stay fit? And if things go a little bit sideways, where that commitment might lay. But so far, so good. No complaints. This is why they're paying him an outrageous salary to come and do things like this. And it's completely changed the feeling around BMO Field and Toronto FC's fan base. 2 wins from 3 games, undefeated thus far. The only side in Major League Soccer not to concede a goal. Dream start for Herdman and company. I think so.
And when you mentioned Insigne, and obviously trying to keep him fit, we've seen Toronto FC, mind you, it was a different regime back in 2017 when they actually went on to win the title. I'm not trying to say it's what's going to happen this year, but there was a different regiment for Josie Altidore. We know this, things that they did differently for him. It was a different kind of workout plan. It was a different kind of recovery plan. If you need to do that for Lorenzo to keep him fit, you do what you have to do. You brought up 2 good points there. I'm wondering, Jordo, if you want to just elaborate on them. It's the fact that they haven't conceded. And by the way, in that home opener, there was no Sean Johnson. He was injured. No Richie Larea, right? So you're talking about already a team that's taken a bit of a hit, but was still able to, keep a clean sheet. And also Lorenzo Insigne, going back to him, Jordo, just kind of getting your star player on board. It was Herdman who he ran to first.
The John Herdman effect. Look, I'm no Lorenzo Insigne. I remember my first goal I scored for my club, and I ran to my host dad, because he let me stay in his house for 2 months. You run to the person that you feel connected to, right? Or you pay respect to. I don't need to know the ins and outs. Wheels was around the club on Friday, but to know that Lorenzo Insigne is happy. There's some chemistry going on with him and John Herdman, and it is percolating, is moving onto the pitch. That run, if I saw a fan's point of view of it, where they're kind of right behind the bench, and him beelining and just gunning for John Herdman, it will give you chills. That will be the moment. Can they go and replicate that and have the full fans and a full team going behind that for the full season? And I hope that's the case. But in terms of a start, you see John Herdman come, and this was the thing that we knew he was going to bring. I didn't think it would happen so quickly, but in terms of getting everyone wanting to play, or that family aspect, we've seen it happen with Canada. We've seen it happen with Bleed. It's probably what happens further down the road, right? Wheels mentioned fitness. You do as well, Andy. If you can keep the group going, but they need to add as well. You're not going to rely on Lorenzo Insigne every week to come with a miraculous goal. You have to play a different way. But Wheels, you're talking about the players that they brought in as well. I'll focus on Long. I think if you're going to really survive in this league, the fact that you haven't been scored on and conceded has Herdman written all over it, right? The way that you're trying to play with wing backs, but protect what you have. And I think that he had that balance, I would say, right on the weekend, because it was okay almost if you're playing for a 0-0 game. But then you have that bit of brilliance that you say to Insigne to go out and change the game. And that's what he did. So far, for 3 games in, we're liking what we see from TFC.
Yeah, I mean, there's some dogs in this team now, like guys who are fully committed. That's the thing. Insigne, 2 goals, limited chances, but it's the fact that this team that conceded 59 goals a season ago looked very well organized defensively. And beyond that, Andy, guys who have dug in. Gomis, like this guy, I mean, in 2 games, he's been outstanding. Flores in the middle of the park, he wins every 50-50 ball. His commitment is on 110% all the time. You need players like that behind players like Insigne around him to bring out the best of those players. So I think it's some shrewd recruitment, understanding some of the positions that the team lacked, and they're still not there. Like, this is still going to take time, so expectations should be put into perspective here. They had Jonathan Osorio playing a false 9. That's not his position. There's nothing that can out to the weekend that it will be his position going forward, but that's because they just don't have a number 9 that it looks like Herdman and his staff trust right now. And trust is a key word. Andy, you were there in 2022 when it was right at the end of the season. Insigne came off, got into it with Bob Bradley. We made note of it at that time, and it seemed like he just was never kind of the same under that coaching staff after that moment. He had his mind made up. Herdman has come in, has treated him kindly, has treated him with respect. He's got into his head and helped him reestablish that belief. And being psychologically in the right place goes a long way to production on the field.
That's the thing. And if I were just play devil's advocate just a little bit, we know those goals that Insigne scored, they were worldly. Like you got to be careful. I feel like they're still lacking that depth when it comes to scoring. And even their wins, it just seemed hard. Like these are hard. Like they almost seem like they're already playing in playoff games. Is that sustainable, right? Like they still need a little bit more of that depth. But either way, what a great start. I don't think anybody expected this kind of start. I mean, perhaps a bit of a turnaround, but not this kind of start by Toronto FC. So really looking good.